And welcome back to more political chatter. In this video, we will be talking about Joe Manchin, Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, and how he is apparently making ties with the No Labels party or corporation or whatever you want to call it. No Labels is a group, I guess we'll say, that seeks to just create a competitive third party. It's formed by people who are unhappy with our current two-party system in America, that want a real change, want more candidates to vote for. I don't think they have like a real policy platform similar to the Forward Party, except even less because, Forward Party champions policies such as ranked choice voting, open primaries, stuff like that. No Labels is really just people, independents who are tired of Democrats and Republicans, only Democrats and Republicans being in office. It's really a loose group of people, former Republicans, former Democrats, former independents, whatever. Now, a lot of people are saying or are coming out and saying that No Labels is pretty corrupt when you're on the inside. It's not a good environment. The actual, inside the party, the people running it, they say there's a lot of talk about it being run by corporations, being run by money, it being a money operation, a money run operation, and that it's not really about the people. It's all about the money. And a lot of those people who believe that, who are, like, I want no labels, but the corporation, it's not a good, it's not a good vibe there at No Labels. Kind of a with kind of has a dark history, kind of sketchy, mysterious. We don't know a whole ton about what goes on the inside, except that money has a lot to do with it. And a lot of those people, who want that same thing, but are just kind of edgy about joining the Forward Party. However, No Labels, with their massive war chest of, money, if you don't know what that means, they are more successful than the Forward Party right now when it comes to actually getting on the ballot. They're in the ballot, I know, in Utah, and I think in Arizona, I think, and then a few other states. Or maybe they're just trying in Arizona, I forget. But they're in on the ballot in a few states. And this is new from today, that Joe Manchin, who has been seen as someone who could potentially run as a presidential candidate in 2024 from the No Labels party, the moderate Senator Joe Manchin, he is now doing a town hall in New Hampshire with No Labels. A No Labels run town hall. So this is big. This is really a hint that he might be running for president in 2024, which is pretty crazy to say. No one really thought that Joe Manchin would be running for president. He's known as the Democrat who blocks all of Biden's bills. Someone who is someone that is a Democrat who makes the life of Democrats harder. And he's an annoyance to many Democrats. So this would be, of course surprising, but when you think about it, really not all that much surprising. He's an anti-Biden Democrat, and I don't know, he is affiliated with No Labels, so this is definitely something that could happen. And looking at the 2024 Democratic primary, this is not something new. Joe Manchin is floated as a potential contender. I wouldn't say that Joe Manchin will get into the 2024 Democratic primary. This Wikipedia page says that, his decision is pending, And it says, decision expected in late 2023. Now, again, I don't think he will run in the Democratic primary, but this makes total sense for him to join the presidential race, not now when all the other candidates are, but in late 2023, December or January of next year, whenever. It doesn't matter because he doesn't have to compete in the primary. It's not about the primary for him, and that is what will actually make Joe Manchin so significant if he does run in the 2024 race. Because, once he runs from No Labels, it's not like No Labels is going to have some competitive primary. He will be the nominee. And just like that, he's already in the general election for 2024. He is a major contender. I mean, obviously, I don't think that anyone really thinks he has much of a chance of becoming president, but he is a major contender because he has such an impact. I mean, this is why Joe Manchin running will be so significant. So he has time to make this decision because, again, he doesn't need to focus on this primary race. He doesn't need to be visiting Iowa, New Hampshire. He is visiting New Hampshire for some reason. Nevada, South Carolina. He can just go straight to the general election. I don't know, tour the country or whatever. Because once he wants from No Labels, having ballot access in many states and them getting ballot access by Election Day 2024 and a whole lot more, that will put Joe Manchin into that, major contender seat and have a real third-party candidate, a competitive one, since Ross Perot in 1996 and 1992. I mean, just saying how much of an impact Joe Manchin has. I mean, let's just talk about how much of the vote he would win. Joe Manchin is a U.S. senator, a very well-known U.S. senator for being, as I mentioned, for giving the Democrats a hard time, for giving the rest of his party a hard time, for being a moderate. But looking at the country, most people, there are more independents in this country than Democrats or Republicans. There are a whole lot of independents who don't vote because the only two major contenders are Democrats and Republicans. So Joe Manchin could absolutely offer these independents a new way forward. I mean, I'm not saying that he would be some phenomenal candidate because he wouldn't. It's Joe Manchin. He's old, more conservative leaning. He from West Virginia. He doesn't have anything strong electorally about him when it comes, outside of coal country, outside of West Virginia. That it's not the point. It's not like this is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson where he would actually carry Ross Perot numbers. No, he's not winning more than 10% of the vote. But my point is, look at the nationwide popular vote. It was decided by like 5% in 2020. So if Joe Manchin wins 8%, which I think is this number, 8%, it of course will have an impact on the winner of the election in multiple states and probably the nation. I'm not here to say that Joe Manchin will only win Biden voters, but if 2024 is a rematch, Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, most, moderate independent Manchin voters, most of those people will vote for, I think pretty unarguably, or I guess it is arguable, but pretty unarguably, the more moderate candidate, Joe Biden. So then Donald Trump, when compared to Donald Trump. So my point is, Manchin, as a Democrat, as a No Labels Democrat, probably steals more votes away from Biden. So and looking at these states, 5% is one thing. But if Manchin is winning, let's say 8% about in every state, obviously he won't, but every state, Georgia, Biden won by 0.24. If Manchin wins, if Manchin just wins a bit more Democrat, a bit more Biden voters than Trump voters, that puts Trump over the top in Georgia. If you see what I'm saying here. The margins in some of these states is so close where if Manchin just takes a few more votes away from Biden than he does to Trump, which I do think he will, I think that he takes more votes away from Biden than Trump, then Georgia flips blue, then Wisconsin flips blue, then Arizona flips blue, and the list goes on. You could say it about Nevada, where Biden only won by 2.4, Biden only wins by 2.8 in Michigan, 1.2 in Pennsylvania. So a Joe Manchin presidential run from No Labels could be detrimental to the Biden campaign if we see even get 5% of the vote. I mean, it would just have massive impacts in so many states that it could result in a Trump presidency. So definitely something to look out for. This will be very interesting. And if Joe Manchin runs third party, I think that the DNC, that Democrats, will go in a absolute panic mode. I think that this election could be really, really crazy if it's a three-way race because, once Manchin runs No Labels, then the Democrats are going to really have to try, and Republicans are going to be real excited about election night because I would say Trump is favored with Manchin running third party from No Labels. And you know what? A good video idea would be an election prediction and analysis, three-way race, Biden, Trump, Manchin. That will be coming soon. So thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That'd be great. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.